All right, welcome today. We're going to dive into some of those really tricky parts of English, the little things that can trip you up and keep you from sounding totally natural. You ever have that moment? You say something and you know it's grammatically correct, but it just sounds, well, wrong. It's super frustrating, right? But don't worry, we're going to tackle that today. First off, you are definitely not alone in this. And the best part? It's totally fixable. And no, this isn't about memorizing a giant textbook of rules. It's actually way simpler. It's about learning to spot the patterns. Okay, let's jump right in. Part 1 is all about how we describe the world around us. We're talking about mastering adjectives, those words that really paint the picture and add all the color. So picture this. A movie was amazing. Are you excited, or was the movie exciting? It seems like such a tiny thing, right? Just one little ending. But trust me, for a native speaker, it makes all the difference in the world. Okay, so here's the secret to unlocking this whole thing. The ing word is the cause. It's the thing that produces the feeling. So the movie was exciting. Now the ed word, that's the feeling itself. That's what you experience. So you were excited. See? Cause and effect. That's it. That's the whole rule. And this is why it's so important. If you say something like, the lyrics are very excited, it creates this funny mental picture, right? Like the words on the page are jumping up and down with joy. What you really mean is the lyrics are exciting. They're the cause of the feeling. And once you see this pattern, you'll see it absolutely everywhere. A lecture was boring, so you were bored. The news was disappointing, so you felt disappointed. The journey was exhausting, so you were exhausted. It's the same simple logic every single time. All right, sticking with adjectives for just a little longer. Let's talk about a really cool way to build better ones using suffixes. This is a great trick for expanding your vocabulary fast. This is seriously powerful. You take a base word like thought, and you add full to get thoughtful, meaning full of thought. Or you add less to get thoughtless, without thought. Or rely becomes reliable. You're able to rely on it. See how that works? It's so much smarter than just memorizing single words. Okay, on to part 2. Let's talk about spotting the imposters. Those words that look almost the same, maybe they sound alike, but they are not the same. They're designed to trip you up. Let's look at preserve versus reserve. Now, they both kind of mean to keep something, which is why they're so tricky. But here's the simple difference. You preserve historical buildings to protect them from harm. You reserve a table at a restaurant for future use. So think protection versus booking. Simple as that. Here's another pair that gets mixed up all the time. Predecessor and precedent. A predecessor is always a person. It's the guy who had your job before you. But a precedent is an event or a decision that acts as an example for the future. So the easiest way to remember, person versus example. Classic versus classical. Oh man, this one gets people all the time. Classical is easy. It's for a specific traditional style. Think classical music, classical architecture. But classic is way broader. It can mean something is a typical example, like a classic mistake. Or it can mean something is just timeless and amazing, like a classic car. So you might listen to classical music at a concert that was a truly classic event. See the difference? All right, let's get into our last section. I like to call this one the secret handshakes. These are the hidden patterns, the little phrases that native speakers just know. And once you know them too, well, you're in the club. Okay, let's talk about one of the biggest headaches, dependent prepositions. I mean, why are you interested in something, but good at something else? A lot of the time, there's just no rhyme or reason to it. These words just have a partner they stick with, and the trick is to learn them together. So here's the strategy. Don't just try to memorize a long, boring list. Instead, do this. When you learn a new word, like interested, immediately find its partner preposition. In this case, it's in. And from now on, don't think of them as two words. Think of them as one single chunk. Interested in. That's the key. Memorize the chunk. Now, check out this trio. Used to, be used to, and get used to. They look so similar, but they're totally different. I used to play the piano. That's a past habit that's over. I am used to the noise. That means I'm accustomed to it right now in the present. And I am getting used to the city. That's the process of becoming accustomed. So you've got past, present, and process. 3 very different things. And finally, let's talk about fixed expressions. These are like set recipes. You just can't change the ingredients. It's always do more harm than good. You'd say it's an English language film, not English speaking, because the film itself isn't speaking, right? And if you think someone's not telling the truth, a supernatural thing to say is, yeah, I don't buy it. You just gotta learn these as they are. So let's bring this all together. What's the real takeaway here? It's a mindset shift. You need to stop just memorizing words and start spotting patterns. Because really, English often fights against direct translation. You can't just swap one word for another. The secret is learning these fixed combinations, these chunks, as single units. The real goal here is to train your brain to stop seeing individual words and start seeing the patterns. See interested in as one piece. See boring versus bored as a simple cause and effect relationship. That is where true natural sounding fluency comes from. So I'll leave you with this question. What's one English phrase you can learn as a single chunk today? Not a list of words, just one. Maybe it's get used to or interested in. Pick one and make it yours, because that's where the real progress starts.